Okay, let's get started here. Can you hear me? Welcome. Last lecture, great. Last live lecture for this class. Pretty crazy how fast it goes, isn't it? Isn't it so crazy how quick it goes? Just seems so quick to go by. So, actually, I am bringing up my Behance page here. So when we get to that point, you guys can take a look at what we're supposed to do here. Before I get started, did you have any questions so far of what you're working on for week 4? Or I guess any questions? Okay. All right. So really what we're going to be going over tonight is the stuff that we didn't go over yesterday, and that is the second part of this assignment 4. So we had a big chunk of it done yesterday. Did you get a chance to check out the link that I posted in announcements? Just a kind of a heads up, if you haven't noticed this yet, you can check out, I'm going to sneeze here, so let me mute my mic. Ooh, okay. I put the assignment for, okay, good. Assignment for bus wrap optional template. I'm going to sneeze again, hold on. Sorry, guys. Just snuck up on me here. I put this in here for you guys to use. I actually paid for this mock-up. It was like $8. Just for you guys to have a little bit of an easier time placing your wraps onto this bus. I think it's a little easier than the one that was provided to you guys in the assignments. If you have one that you want to use that looks like a city bus that you know you want to use, that's fine too. It doesn't necessarily have to be this particular one. As long as it's like a city bus, it's fine. I provided 2 PSD mock-up file perspectives. I think one's straight on to the side view, and then the other one is this perspective. So I couldn't put all of the templates on there because they're really big files. So I just zipped them on here. I'm gonna blow my nose here for a second. Hold on one second. Man, all that sneezing made me all congested. Okay, so definitely check that out for the first part of the assignment 4. All right, so welcome to week 4, session 2. Again, this is our last session together. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you're stuck on anything, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys. So do not feel like you're bothering me. I'm here to help you guys. I want you to succeed. I just had a couple announcements about what I just kind of talked about. We're going to do a course review and then start your week 4 assessment demo, continue it, I should say, for your second part of the project, so that you kind of know what to expect and what to do. Just a checklist. Again, we went over this yesterday, but just very quickly here, multi-part. This is a multi-part project. You're going to be doing a bus wrap, and you're going to use the provided template, optional template, either in the assignment or the one that I just posted to announcements, and you're going to submit it as a PDF. You also, when you're done with your 4 deliverables, you're going to upload this to your Behance portfolio site. And I'll show you how to do that today. And then you're going to send your FPA, your advisor, and CC. CC means carbon copy me, so that I can see that you sent it, and also have access to your link to your actual project for Behance. The final document has to be a multi-page PDF, and it has to include the cover page, week 1 creative concept with changes, all deliverables mocked up if necessary with changes, organized the event, reference page with all images and references cited in APA format. So go to your behance.com portfolio site. You're going to upload your design project and add a link again to the comments of your final submission. That's when you go to upload your PDF for assignment 4, you're going to actually copy that Behance link into that message area. And then also email the FPA and CC the link as well. When you do that, just kind of say, hey, I'm so-and-so from DES470. My instructor is April Biss. This is my assignment for Behance link for the final project, instead of just sending the link, so that your advisor kind of understands what they're looking at. There are other classes going on that also have this same type of instruction where they, you have to send a link as well. So we want to make sure they know kind of what they're looking at. Final paper is the other part of this project as well, final assessment paper. This is for the assessment part, 300 words with the following information. You're going to discuss the process of design campaign. What was your creative process? What was your favorite part of the process? What was the most challenging part? And did the creative concept help you? How did it overcome the challenges? And what was your favorite project and why? And what did you learn that you did not know before? You're going to defend those design decisions, and then talk about what advertising techniques that you learned about. What was your favorite? And so on and so forth. We kind of went over this yesterday, so I'm not going to read through it word for word here. So before we get into this, let me go back to where we kind of finished. Here, hold on one second, guys. Sorry, let me go back to this. This one here, I had all of my. I had to do a quick restart before I got on here to talk to you guys, because I couldn't get online and it was giving me problems. So I had to do a restart, and now I had all of my programs open, but now they're all kind of acting funny. So I was all ready to go, and my computer said, nope, you're not ready, because I'm not ready. So give me 1 second here. I had everything opened up too. Okay. So I think for this second part here, actually, let's go to Canvas and let's look at this second part while I'm kind of opening up all my projects here. Alrighty. All right, so week 4, assessment 4. So what we went over last night, if you forgot, or not forgot, if you weren't here and you didn't listen to the first recording of this week, I went over the first part of this assignment, which was the part 1 bus ad. So I went pretty much over all of this information last night. Tonight, we're going to go over this information. Okay, so this is the second part, campaign presentation. So do you remember that brief that we started? I gave you its optional template to use. That's kind of what we're going to go back to, and that's why I was kind of pushing you guys to revise your brief, because here we are, it's week 4, and we're going to go back and revise it again. It's for presentation purposes. So you're going to use the format you created in week 1 for your campaign concept presentation, and you're going to modify it to include a cover page, a proposal from week 1 assignment, the 4 projects with the 2 from each seasonal event facing each other, 2-page spreads, a reference page to list all image template sources you use. Be sure to use APA formatting for your references. The template sources, the ones that were given to you, well, the bus wrap you don't have to source. That was free and I bought that, so you're good. If you are, obviously using any imagery in your brief, as well as your other pieces that you need to source, that's where that would go. Don't forget to review and update all projects for your campaign from week 1 to 3, critiques and feedback. I've been giving you guys feedback, and I kind of mentioned to you, make those changes so that in week 4, you're not having to do it all at that moment. If you find yourself having to do that, then this is a good time to do that. You have to do that. So revise any of your pieces based on my feedback and what you think needs to change going forward for this presentation. Mock-up pieces where appropriate. I'm going to show you kind of the options there. So let's go ahead and go over this information first. I'm going to open up my file that you guys saw me kind of working on in the beginning of this class. All right, some of this isn't quite finished though, so kind of bear with me here. So this is the template that I gave you to use optionally. You didn't have to, basically you didn't have to use this template, but a lot of you guys seem to take from it, so that's great. Or maybe used your own, but you're gonna have to have some type of presentation like this, so just kind of be mindful of that. Go ahead and change anything that you need to. I didn't quite put any information here for the campaign theme, but this is kind of where you can kind of add anything that needs to be added, revise anything that needs to be revised. Cover page needs to be added in here. So let's go to pages. Oh, not stroke, let's go to pages. Okay, let me see here, where's my tabs? I guess my pages is being hidden here. I don't know where it's at. Give me 1 second here. Very interesting. Oops. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get this. Let me stop sharing here. I got something funky going on with my InDesign. There we go. It's not letting me reset my workspace here. Very strange. I'm going to close out of here. I'm going to open it back up. My computer's been acting kind of goofy today. I think it's the full moon tomorrow, right? Usually that's what happens. All right, let's try this again. Huh, this is really weird. Let me try this. 1 second here. There we go. Jeez. Okay, I'm not sure what the heck was going on, but I was trying to get my pages up here, and it wouldn't work until I changed my assets to typography for some reason. I was trying all of the assets. All right, that was very weird. I've never had that happen before. Okay, sorry about that. So hopefully you don't have that same problem. I'm gonna put a new page, and I'm probably just gonna copy this page. Go ahead and do a duplicate. Oh, did it take it to the bottom? I'll have to pull all the way to the top here. So this is my duplicate cover page, and I'm just gonna take all of this. Man, this is acting really goofy. Off here. And maybe I'll just leave the logo. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make a solid color for the cover. So I'm just going to take my shape tool and draw a square, and I'm going to fill it with darker color. So let's do, see, now my colors won't come off. This is like the weirdest thing I've ever seen happen. There we go. Let's do like 80% black. It's up to you what you want to do, but I'm going to do this. And, you know, if you want to use an image from your concepts, you know, you do that, full bleed. Or if you just want to stick to a basic type of a thing, like I'm doing here, you can as well. Cover page should be, you know, maybe having the name of the client that you're working on, and then kind of make it look like a cover page. So make it look a little different than your other pages, but similar in theme. So maybe in this instance, I'm going to center this, make this a little bit bigger. And change the leading here. And then maybe put design brief 2018. Put this down here. Make it look real slick. Using the same typeface I use within the booklet itself for consistency's sake. And let's just pull this out a little bit so it's going over. Centering it, there we go. So I have my name, designer, design brief 2018. You can have, you know, the number of the class number. So we can even do, oops. And to do the little bullet, I just do the Option Alt 8, DES470 Advanced Advertising. So you kind of know what class this is. I can even make this red, or, you know, do like a pop of color. I'd probably have to make this a little lighter. So I'm just going to leave it as is. I think that looks good. So that would be my cover. And then here's the inside pages. So again, you know, if you need to change your slogan ideas or your campaign inspiration based on my feedback, target audience, concept development, you know, definitely change that. We're going to be showing the same information, just revising it. You know, like some of this stuff I don't have completed, but you should. Typefaces that you're inspired by, visual design elements that you're inspired by, your adjective list, campaign relevancy. So if you need to change that, go ahead and change whatever I kind of commented on in week 1. If you have the color palette samples, make sure that's relevant to what your campaign looks like. And again, I didn't fill these pages out because I ran out of time, but these would be campaign strategy images that I would place in here. So yours should be completed and look similar. And then I added more pages to mine, and I changed the title. And I kind of showed you this before in week 3, so if you missed that, listen to the demo in week 3 live lecture. I showed how to place your e-publication advertisement as a flat ad, and that means just like your straight on ad in here. So it looks good visually for presentation purposes. You don't necessarily have to do the side-by-side spreads like it says in the assignment. If you're going to do this template, it would just be every page is vertical. If you wanted to do a side-by-side, you'd have to change this to facing pages. So you'd have to go to document setup. Document setup and hit facing pages. But then it would give you all spreads on the side. You don't necessarily have to do that. I don't think that's really necessary. If you wanted to do a mock-up of this ad, and I showed you again in week 3 how to do that, you can show both variations, but at least one. And if you decide to do the mock-up, make sure that you can actually visually see it. Like, for instance, this one is a great mock-up, but you can't necessarily read all the copy, and it's a little hard to see the ad. You get the sense what it is because you see the ad before it, but you don't see it in its entirety. So if you were to do a mock-up like this, I would definitely say you need to show your flat file as well, just for presentation purposes. So you can say, hey, this is what it looks like. And then this is what it would look like kind of like in the real scenario of the perspective, being within an e-publication. Actually, this is a printed publication, but there are e-publications that do kind of look like this. Like, for instance, Snackbook, issue.com, they actually do look like printed publications, with the pages turning. Then the next one's the extra advertisement, and then this is completely up to you what you decided to use. So for my title, I just decided to do extra advertisement - transit signage, because that's what I decided to do for my extra piece. Yours might be different, but make sure you signify what it is up here. So again, I'm placing the flat ad in here, and then the mock-up. Oh, this is actually should be, let me get rid of this line here. The mock-up of the actual ad within its environment, what its purpose. So the bus board ad, transit signage. Okay, and then your storyboard, and this is just one page. You can do side-by-side pages or one page here and the next page on the next page down. Mine's blank because I'm just using the template to show you, but definitely put your storyboard and YouTube advertisement in here. Yours might be 2 more pages than mine. I just put 1 page. The next template is the bus wrap advertisement. So go ahead, and once you're done with that, let me go grab that. I just saved it as a JPEG, I believe. So let me go grab that here. We went over this yesterday, so I have that in my demo folder. Okay, as a PDF, and I think I have, just the PDF. You do PDF as well. Okay, this one you can make it look bigger within the page itself. Okay, so that one's pure mock-up. You wouldn't have the flat file for this one just because it's just what it is. And then your citations would be the next thing. So what you would do is just like you would in your, I'm just going to type this in here. In your discussions, you would do an APA format for web or the website imagery or whatever that you're. Sorry guys, I got a little phone call in there. So you obviously put the author's name, the source in which you got it, So, you know, title, website, source, name, when you actually got us a date, and then link. So, you know, for any imagery that you use, say up here, this, I got pixabay.com. If you got pixabay.com, you could just list it once because it's a free website. Just put pixabay.com for some of the imagery if you did pick it from there. If you downloaded a PSD mockup file like this one, template, besides the bus wrap, you know, you can list that as well. And then any imagery that you used up here, just kind of pull it off online, you'll want to also source down in the last page here. So you can have like a whole list of APA sources here, citations. All right, the other thing that it says in your instructions is to have a proposal from week 1 assignment. So what you can do is, after this cover page, you can add that in. And I'm just going to copy this again. And let me pull this up. I'm copying another page. I'm just going to put it in here under page 2. And here I'm just going to do project proposal. And this can be, I believe you guys did a paper in week 1, correct? Let's see here. This can be from that. Oops. Pull this down here. Let me go back to your class syllabus here. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, yeah, so like in the week 1, you were supposed to do a minimum of 300 words describing the direction for your campaign and what your creative concepts will be. So that's kind of what you'll be stating here. So if you need more room, you can create a page like I just did, because I think you guys put that, or is it creative proposal? Campaign relevancy. Yeah, I don't really have it here. So you might want to create a new page. Just kind of talk about what the project's about, what's being asked of you for the objective, and then how you kind of are going about solving the problem with your campaign solution, okay? Your overall concept for ideas for your campaign. You can copy from there and place here. So you can have a whole page for that project proposal. And this proposal is basically what you're proposing to do in order to solve this problem that your client wants you to solve. So you could start out with saying, you know, the project proposal is to create a cohesive campaign for a multi-seasonal campaign ad for, and then have your client, and then go on and explain your creative concept idea for your campaign in detail. And then that way, that'll kind of give a good lead into all of your design, your process steps and how you got there. And then it leads back into, after that, into your actual concepts. So it's kind of like an intro, and it kind of gets the ball rolling to understand what kind of how you attempted to solve the problem. Okay, any questions so far with that? So that would be, mine's about 13 pages. Yours might be longer depending on your storyboard. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here, assignment. Okay, very good. So when you're done with that part, so we just went over cover page proposal. So we just went over this. 4 projects with 2 from each seasonal facing each other. You don't have to do facing each other. It could be page by page if you want references. Mock-up pieces where appropriate. You don't necessarily have to do mock-up pieces, but if you think it'll enhance it, definitely do that. Then you're going to save it as a multi-page PDF. You're going to name it as such, and then upload the PDF assignment for grading. And that's pretty easy. I only saw one person in here that uploaded multiple pages. Each page has a PDF. Make sure you're not doing that for this assignment. Make sure you go in InDesign. You can choose smallest file size under the Adobe PDF presets. Or I forget what the name was here. Hold on. There it is. I'll just copy and paste this. So that would be the name. I'm going to save this to the desktop. Save. Smallest file. Don't have to worry about spread, so I'm good. And then let me open up my PDF here so you can at least see what it looks like. Hold on one second. Now, again, mine's not fully finished, so just kind of keep that in mind. Yours should be completed. It shouldn't have any blank spaces or missing information. I just kind of ran out of time. Okay, so this is the PDF. This is the cover page. And again, it doesn't have to look like this. You can do whatever you want, whatever you think is best for your presentation. I would have my project proposal written here. Then it would go into my actual processes. And then into my my roughs, my mock-ups. So see how nicely it presents, when you get everything in there. And that's what you'll be uploading to the assignment 4. The next thing would be, let me open up, why don't I see, let's see my, oh, it's because I closed out here, hold on. The next part of this would be your Behance part. So we did all this. Okay, so now, so upload PDF for grading. Now you're gonna upload the assignment, the campaign to your Behance portfolio. Now, what I would do is I wouldn't upload all those pages that you just saw. I would just upload the actual mock-ups and the flat files that you saw for each campaign piece. So I wouldn't include, I would exclude your storyboards. Like I wouldn't have your storyboards for YouTube in there just because they're a little hard to see in the presentation. So I would only include your 3 ads that you have in your campaign. So your EPUB ad, your extra ad that you did for week 2, that surprise ad, mine was the transit ad, and then the bus wrap. So just those 3 is what I would include for just your Behance. You don't have to do the whole PDF that you just submitted for that. Okay? So in saying that, what I would do is open up each of those projects and save them out as JPEGs, I believe. Now I'm going to probably say this wrong now that I said that. Maybe what you might want to do is also save out the logo so you can start out with the logo in the presentation. Okay, so let me open up my 3 pieces here. So this one I can save out as a JPEG. I'll put this in my desktop here. I think this is export as a JPEG. The only bad thing about these 2 particular ads is I have a white bottom here. So when you upload this to Behance, it's not going to show anything bordering this down here. So it'll just kind of be white and you won't be able to see what's down there. So what you might want to do is just go ahead and draw, if yours is similar to mine, go ahead and draw a square the size of the bottom, fill it with white, send it to back, and give it a stroke, no, maybe a half stroke, 0.5 stroke. So you'll have a border, if that makes sense. And I know you guys can't see it now, but it will show up whenever you upload it to Behance. You'll understand if you don't, and it'll kind of look weird. So I'm going to do that with this one as well. That's something you don't want to leave in there if you're going to, you know, obviously send this to the printer. You want to take that out. It's just for purposes of uploading it to Behance to make it look like it has a border on the bottom and it doesn't look like it just fades out into nothing. So, oops, I'll export it. There we go. JPEG, desktop. And then the bus wrap one. So, I think it was this one. This one, I believe, was done in Photoshop. So let's open up the Photoshop file here. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, found it. Okay, so I open it up in Photoshop. I'm going to export this out. Actually, I think I did export this out as a JPEG, but I'll just do it again to keep it all together into a folder. Okay, I don't have to worry about putting a border on this one though. All right, so then I'm going to go back to, where am I at here? Back here. I have all of my, and let me just, I'm going to share my desktop so you can see where my files are. I'm going to dump those all into a folder. A lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so I'm going to pretty much make a folder. So I'm going to name this Behance. And you could name it Behance with the title of whatever the project is. I'm just going to plop all 3 of these in there, all those JPEGs in there. I might even open up the, let me see here. I might open up the logo, just start with that. I think that might be kind of nice. So what I mean by that is, remember the logo that was given to you guys, final logos? I'm going to open that up. I think I have a JPEG in there already. Actually, I do, but it has 2 in there. So I'm going to open up this first. And I'm just going to choose one to focus on here. So I'm just going to maybe choose this one. Do a new art board here. And then I'm going to save this as logo for Behance. So I'm just put it on the desktop. Export as a JPEG. Looks good. Okay. RGB looks good. That's fine if it's 300 pixels per inch. All right, so now I have the logo. So I'm going to throw that in my Behance folder. The .ai, it's up to you if you want to throw that in there. That's your working file. If you want to just throw that in your final folder too, that probably would be good. Throw that in there. Okay. So then go to your Behance, go to your login. You should have a Behance page. Let me share my page here. If not, you'll just have to get a, log in, get a profile. Here's my profile. And then, I have a lot of projects on here, so you might not see as many depending on what you have on there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create a project. So you're going to click on this 3 lines here and say create a project. And you're going to upload files. And then go to your Behance folder, and you're going to go ahead and select all of these. So I'm going to do a shift select. And you can reorganize these. So if it, obviously the logo's last here, I can kind of shift things around based on where I want them to be. Let me zoom out here. There we go. So if I want to reorganize this so that the logo is up here, oops. Used to be able to just pull this up, but it looks like you might not be able to do that now. Here we go. Reorder project. So just click on the little, it changes all the time, little pen here and say reorder project. There we go. Now you can pull these little side panels to where you want each of these to be ordered in. Let me zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. So I put the logo first, and then maybe what I'll do is put the full page ad that I did, the EPUB ad, and then the transit ad, and then the bus ad. I'm going to save the order. And there we go. Now you can hit preview to preview it first. So, sorry. So that it starts out with the logo, and then it goes to the ad. Oh, you know what? It looks like it's putting it right up against these. You can also swipe through these like this. Kind of a nice way to do it. When you're done, go back to edit, click continue, and then you can give it a project title. So, and then you can kind of shift the thumbnail to kind of what you want it to look like. So maybe like this, and then you put the project title. So maybe Discovery Island, whatever the client title is, campaign, ad campaign. Okay. Looks good. Crop and continue. You can add creative fields in here. You can click on that and go to, you can choose some of these here, craft design, art direction. And then over here, you can choose advertising. Craft design, anything that relates to this that you worked on. I was looking for campaigns, but I didn't see that. Campaign, print design. Oh, you can only choose 3, so that's good. Hit done. Tools used, you can add, the hardware software that you used. For this would be Adobe Creative Suite. You can do tools too if you want to add that in. Co-owners, if you had somebody help you, which you don't need to necessarily work with, you're good with copyright and license. You don't have to worry about that. And then hit publish. And when you're done, you can promote your work. And this is where you grab the link, okay? So you'll just copy this, and that's where you'll when you upload your PDF in assignment 4, you'll paste this link in the message area, and then you're going to email your faculty development advisor. You're going to email them the link, tell them who you are, what the project is for, the class you're in, and who you are, and then paste this link in there and say, this is my final project for my campaign advertisements for final project. And then you'll CC me on that. When you go back to your actual page, just to look at all your projects, you'll see the campaign piece should be in the upper left-hand corner. You can go ahead and click on it and view it. In this way, you can also click to view it so that it's a little bit more size to your screen, and flip through each piece in this way. If you need to edit it, you just hit this little pencil tool, hit edit. You can delete it if you want. I'm going to go ahead and delete mine. If you forgot to do the link, when you click actually on your project, the link can be grabbed up here as well. So this is the same link. Just copy and paste that link. Any questions about that? Pretty easy. Have you ever done anything like that before? I know some other classes do that same type of a deal with the Behance, posting to Behance and then sending a link for your final presentation. No? Okay. All right, no questions so far. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break and we're going to go on with the rest of this review here. If you don't have any questions yet, take a little break and then we'll go on with everything. If you want to show any work at the end, feel free to get your stuff ready and we can take a look at it. And I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, can you hear me? Sure, we're back on track here. Awesome. All right, so let's go on here. If we don't have any questions with what I kind of reviewed, just go on with the lecture here. Let's talk about the key players in advertising. You guys are discussing this for this week. So let's talk about who the key players are in advertising. So you have the advertiser, and that basically is the entity that pays for the advertisement. It can be a person, a company, organization. So it would be whomever is paying to put their advertisement in for to be shown, whichever application or medium, I should say. There's the advertising agency, and that's the company that comes up with the creative for the ad campaign. I mean, it doesn't have to be an agency either. It could be a freelancer. There's the medium, the channel through which the message is delivered. So it could be either, online or in print. Could be commercial, video. And then you have your suppliers. You have your vendors, service that can create material for the campaigns. So for instance, printed material, promotional items, billboards, product material, etc. You have those key players that put everything together, help you put everything together. Then you have the target audience, the market, the consumers who the advertisers are trying to market to. So those are the key players in advertising. The advertising terms that you will hear if you are, working for an ad agency or working on advertisements is demographics. And, if somebody says, our demographic is, it's basically the data collected and used to determine target audience. So for instance, when you're looking at a specific target audience, what is their household income? What is the age, typical age range? What's the gender, etc.? So you're kind of getting those specifics in there that have to do with the demographics. So if you hear somebody talking about demographics, that's what that means. Again, medium and media, the channel through which the message is delivered. You might hear somebody say, we want this for a specific medium. A logo, we all know what a logo is. A symbol, graphic, emblem used for a company, organization, or product, which aids in recognition by the public of the brand. Brand awareness is also a term used. So building a brand awareness increases the recognition of the brand by potential customers, usually done over time using multiple campaigns showing the same logo, product, or slogan, what you guys are working on. We talked about advanced ad strategies. Call to action is used for that. Hey, come to this event, or buy me type of call to actions, for an example. Emotion, you can show emotion in the ad as a strategy. Humor, fear, greed, vanity. We'll talk all about these in a little bit more detail here, kind of like a review. Exclusivity, bandwagon, fact and figures, testimonial, celebrity endorsements, and simple solutions. So we talked about some of these in the past. So what is a call to action in advertising? We talked about this in your campaign pieces. So basically what it is kind of like an action, to take action. You're asking the consumer to take an action, like call now or hurry in, for example. So it's something in advertising that promotes a message that tells the consumer what to do. Why? Why do we need a call to action? So whether you want people to subscribe to your list, buy your product, pick up the phone and call you, or like you on Facebook, or retweet your tweets, asking them to do so in no uncertain terms is one of the most powerful ways to do so. So essentially making the consumer an active participant creates more interest, and they will retain the information considered in the ad better than if they are passive participants. So it kind of makes it an experience. It answers the unspoken question, that's interesting, now what? So here's some tips for a good call to action if you need to revise yours. Use design elements such as color, focal point, contrast, etc. to make the call to action stand out. It kind of like pops out at you. Leave plenty of negative space around it so it will stand out. Use action words like click here, call now, hurry in, etc. Use incentives in your call to actions like call for a free quote. or only 5 items left, call now. And that depends on kind of what you're advertising. Make it short. You don't want to be like, very lengthy in that. It has to be short and sweet. Choose your words wisely, add a sense of urgency as well. And have more than one option, such as order now online or visit your local store. I'm sure you have heard and seen all of these different calls of actions before. Here's some examples in different ads. And here's a Pepsi ad that basically are telling you to text text this Pepsi Max to the specific number for your chance to live the game. So it's kind of a way to get you into participating in finding out more. Maybe they'll have more advertisement information to send to you or show to you. So that's an example of that. Here's Old Navy ad campaign that shows call outs. Say this in store, so you'll have to say this to get the $2 for whatever product it is, like your camis. So that's a big call out. Here's one forward ads is swap your ride sales event. Click on a vehicle to get a special offer. That's an example. Okay, here's one. Wear the pants. I'm not sure which brand this is. It doesn't have I don't know what that logo is, so it kind of fails for me, but you might know what it is. But it says, we're giving away thousands of khakis, enter a chance to win. And then there's like a little hyperlink that you can enter to win. This would be more of like an online ad. Here's another one, Ad Jams Club. Nokia and LA Live tickets on sale now is a call out example for this specific ad. So here's another one, Volkswagen, hey Seattle, the rabbit is back, kind of calling it out. Here's one, AT&T. Fear in advertising is another strategy, a persuasive message that attempts to change people's attitudes by arousing their fears. Used in PSAs, used to sell products offering protection from fear, so lung cancer, HIV, etc. Plays on basic human emotions and our inherent fear of the unknown. And I think we saw a couple of these before in past lectures, but this is one talking about cholesterol, so more of a health awareness ad here. This shocking photo of a toe tag. Here's one about drinking and driving, showing the actual after effects of somebody who was an innocent person that got affected by this. So very shocking in regards to the picture here. And you see the before picture of her. So hopefully this sends out the message that, yeah, maybe I shouldn't drink and drive because this could happen. I can do this to somebody. There's also greed in advertising. Use the basic human desires and cravings and needs to sell products and services, make more money, have more fun, be more popular, etc. That's another strategy that's used. This ad here says, want to live large, want to live the dream, needs style, luxury, panache, elegance, distinction to be made. So it's kind of playing off of that. Here's another one, a lot of car ads. Not only do they show the car, but simply stating, and you can see who the brand is, BMW, you can, the message, and then also the visual. I mean, look at those. I'm assuming those are houses, could be offices too, but very modern looking, very upscale, affluent visuals to support the message. Here's one kind of stating the facts. I like my coat's mink, truffles white, and my secretary's Swedish. Interesting. Playing off of that. Vanity in advertising. So appealing to the vanity, pride, or self-esteem of the consumer in order to get them to do something, buy something, or give something up. used often in elite high-end products. Here's some examples. Makeup products. Lacombe, actually using celebrities. Here's another one, Nike, showing the perfect body. Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world, who is retired, and they have a new guy now. There's exclusivity in advertising. So similar to greed and vanity, exclusivity plays on the human emotions and promises consumers one-of-a-kind products or services. Also used mainly on high-end products or sales products. So only about 3,000 make, be an example, or only 20 left is another example. Here's one that says exclusive offer. So that's an example of a strategy for exclusivity. And when you see that online exclusive 3 days only, get more, save more, you want to like hurry up and take advantage of that. Almost sold out. What is going on? I need to be a part of this, right? Get them now before they are gone. Don't miss out. Only 12 hours left. I mean, this is very similar to like info commercials, where they have that time limit, you know, the countdown, buy it, or, you know, you'll get the best offer now and you'll get 5 free if you call now. Christmas and July sale, save, 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 members only. This has a whole bunch of call outs here for exclusivity. Here's more advertising strategies. Bandwagon ads. So jump on the bandwagon. Everyone is buying this product. You should buy it too. Avant-garde ad. Think exclusivity. Newest, coolest product. Be the first to get it. Think different is a good example of that with an Apple ad here. Facts and figures. So statistics, percentages, and numbers can be used to help you feel confident in your purchase. You also have another strategy, testimonials. We talked about this with the California Closets ad that I showed you guys. Celebrity endorsements, using celebrities or regular people to endorse the product. You just saw the Lacombe ad with Julia Roberts as an example. Here's one. Doritos here with Katy Perry. Patriotism, show your love and patriotism for the U.S. Buy this product. Works for specific brands and target markets. Transfer, aka association. So especially if you want to be popular, famous on the red carpet, buy products from Target, for example, is another strategy. You have the ordinary people strategy. Buy this product because it is good for everyone, a good value used for ordinary people just like you. Simple solutions, advertisement offering a quick fix, simple solution, easy, no work, no fuss. So those are some strategies. Brand marketing is the process that companies use to keep the public aware of their brands and feature through marketing so that consumers will continue to buy their products. Brand marketing includes any logo, symbol, or slogan used by a company. A company's brand represents their market identity, who they are, what they do, what kind of quality they provide, and their reputation for trustworthiness and more. So it's the process that companies use. In the tips of brand marketing, excuse me, pick a unique name that can be trademarked. Develop a simple and coherent branding message. Think, just do it, or I'm loving it, for example, or some great branding messages. Don't be boring. Make your name, tagline, logo interesting. First impressions are important. Invest in a good business card and professional logo. Display your brand a lot. Get a URL. Get into digital marketing, so Twitter, Facebook, etc. Find your company's value proposition, what makes your company and product special or better, kind of like your niche, and market that. Know your competition, and consistency is key. So same logo, tagline, consistency, and ad campaigns, etc. are very key in keeping it very cohesive so that you know that the brand is strong and it's recognizable. Integrated branding promotion, essentially it is a consistent message and brand development over multiple mediums, so TV, radio, web, etc. Integrated is a key word there. Method of coordinating your messaging and your value proposition across all elements of the marketing mix. In the age of social media and mobile tech, business owners have unprecedented control over message delivery and brand development. Some ad campaign tips. We talked about this too. Maintain consistency throughout your campaign. Here it is, kind of showing you two different applications, but you can tell it's from the same campaign. It looks different, yet you can tell that it's the same brand and coming from the same campaign. That's kind of what you want to see in yours. Keep your message simple. So create a hook that will cut through the clutter. I think we talked about this before, and you actually saw these examples here. So Subway is the good way, and this long-term traveler's guide is the bad way because it's very cluttered looking and hard to read. Not very simple. Too many words. Call to action, in other words, that sell. For example, clearance, everything must go, family owned, operated, improved. Again, more strategy and ad campaign tips. Clarity, we talked about this as well. Keep it very clear, very simple, to the point. And also, and we reviewed this before, but just don't forget, color psychology plays a big part. The colors that you use can be key to having people buy into a product, service, or brand. Color repetition, alignment, proximity, always keep that in mind when you're designing. Use typography wisely. Typography can be huge game changer if done correctly. Remember the brand, logo, taglines, colors tie back to the company. So keep it consistent. Use images wisely. Design for your audience and industry. And just remember the design 101, positive, negative space, balance, focal points, etc. Again, copywriting tips, make them feel something, evoke memories, feelings, emotions, etc. Sell quality over savings. People don't always want cheap. We talked about this before. Be authentic. Consumers are wary of offers that are too good to be true. Use verbs instead of adjectives. So, for example, Brian is an intelligent, hardworking, and insightful young man. Versus Brian founded a successful advertising company, created a popular blog, and leads a talented team of designers. Use power words such as free, instantly, new, and hurry. And we talked about this before. Write for your demographic and use humor. That's always good to do. I saw some some spelling errors in some of your pieces. So make sure you're, paying attention to that and running your spell check in each of your programs before you submit your work. All right, we also talked about the anatomy of an ad. So you might want to kind of make sure that you're cross-checking your ads to see if you have a similar anatomy. There should be some type of a headline, maybe an image that ties into it, possibly body text, slogan, and logo. Now, this depends on what type of ad it is, too. If it's a very small ad that's used on the web and it's just a banner ad, you might have less elements. But pretty much this is the anatomy. This is kind of what makes up an ad. And we saw these two examples before, but it's always nice to kind of review. And that's pretty much the end of that. Let me see if I have anything else that I need to go over. In the meantime, if you have anything that you want to show or go over, let me know. And let me just make sure here that I have reviewed everything besides the assessment here, which we talked about a little bit. Yeah, everything else looks good. So your assessment here, and Tamisha, let me know if you have any questions or want to show anything here while I'm talking. I just wanted to show you very quickly. Don't forget about the assessment. So basically for this, you're going to create a document. So you can go into Word or InDesign, whatever you want to do. And you're going to explain the design process of creating your campaign and design choices you made and why. Talk specifically about what design elements and/or copy you included in the projects and why. Discuss what design choices you made to ensure cohesiveness in the campaign and why you included them. In addition, discuss specifically what advanced advertising strategies you utilized in your projects and why you feel those strategies will be successful for your campaign and how they relate to your target audience. Now, here's a really good idea. You might want to use this same assessment, the same wording that you're going to write for this in your design proposal. Remember I showed you that in that PDF that I showed you, the template? You can use that same wording that you have for here in your design proposal. Any questions about that? What you're going to do is you're going to do this in either Word or InDesign. You're going to save it as a PDF, and then you're going to upload it to this. It says it's a graded quiz, but you're just going to upload it to this assessment 4. No questions. Okay. And then don't forget your discussion post. Your initial post needs to be posted by midnight tonight. So make sure you're doing that. And then your career integration quiz. Make sure you're doing that as well. So there's a little bit more to do this time around, but end strong. Try to get it all in. 15 points for the career integration quiz can mean a lot to your grade, as well as the discussion and your daily checkpoints. All right. Did you want to show anything or go over anything before we wrap it up? Oh, you did? Awesome. Yeah, so maybe you're ahead of yourself. Good. It kind of is nice to get some things done ahead of time. Get it out of the way. All right. Well, I had a wonderful time. I mean, I know I didn't have a lot of you guys in the lecture, but it was great to see you guys on the boards and talk with each and every one of you. Hopefully you got a lot out of this class and can use what you learned, the strategies and the different techniques. Hopefully you can use that going forward in a lot of the work that you do. So let's end strong this week. Get all of your work in. If you have late work, get it in before this Saturday, before midnight Mountain Standard Time. Discussions obviously are excluded from that. And any work that's over a week late. So just kind of FYI there. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I will be here, like I said. Send me an email or anything that you want me to look at, and we can go from there. All right, have a great night. Thank you, Tamisha. Thanks for joining me every evening here. It's been great. I'm not talking to myself. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll be seeing you in the discussions. All right, thank you. Good night.